JJ the CPA here. PPP Forgiveness, Paycheck Protection Program. This video is meant for the Schedule C filer, self-employed, that also has employees, W-2 employees. And what I'm addressing here is the PPP Forgiveness calculation. And really, you have two calculations to your forgiveness. And it's quite simply, you are going to take whatever the calculation is for your forgiveness as a self-employed, and then whatever your calculation is as an employer, add those two dollar amounts together, and that is your PPP forgiveness amount. So from the perspective of, well, what does that mean? I've got a lot of videos to tell you how to achieve forgiveness as a self-employed and achieve forgiveness as an employer. You're doing both things, but I'll run it out for you. And that is this: you're going to first, regardless of your PPP loan amount, regardless, what you're going to do first in the forgiveness is you're going to take your Schedule C from 2019 divided by 12. You're taking line 31, if I didn't say that. Schedule C, 2019, line 31, divided by 12 times 2.5. Boom, locked. There it is. That is your self-employed portion of PPP forgiveness. It's locked in. You're starting with that amount. That's it. You just start with that amount. Then, whatever you paid your employee, gross wages, plus if you're paying their health insurance, yours doesn't count, but if you're paying their health insurance plus any state unemployment tax, that's your payroll cost. And then you're in a set of circumstances where whatever that amount is, plus your self-employment amount, add those two together, and that's your total payroll costs. And then you just have to run the calculation that you would normally to figure out, well, how much is ultimately forgiven. But basically, you're then comparing that to the amount of loan that you got. And at the end of the day, hopefully you're achieving full forgiveness. Now, the one aspect that has also been asked is, well, how does that work related to the taxes? So I do have two other videos where I address how it works for the self-employed and how it works for the employer. For those of you that are self-employed Schedule C filer that have employees, obviously that's this whole video. Well, both those videos apply to you. So I'll put a link to those, but to just spell it out pretty easily, the amount of your calculation, and this is why you want to do this part first, but the amount of your calculation for PPP forgiveness that's based on 2019 Schedule C, line 31, divided by 12 times 2.5, has no tax effect to you because it's just your net income. Zero tax effect to you, period, which is beautiful for the self-employed. Now, for the portion of your PPP loan forgiveness that is related to paying your employee, their health insurance, and any state unemployment taxes, the forgiveness amount that you got above and beyond the self-employed forgiveness, yes, will reduce down your expenses on Schedule C. In essence, you will have the same tax effect as any other employer, even if they're filing a separate return. So just to be clear, when I talk about self-employed Schedule C filer, the SBA made it clear that what rules you follow is how you file your taxes. So some have said, but I'm a single member LLC. Well, if you file Schedule C, those are the rules that you're following, because a single member LLC can be a C Corp. A single member LLC can be an S Corp. A single member LLC cannot be a partnership because you need two partners, of course. So the last little hint there is just what I said, which is when you're determining, well, what applies to me? First, it's if you're self-employed and you're filing a Schedule C, you follow those set of rules. If you're an employer, you follow those rules as an employer, which is then every entity that I just listed. So at the end of the day, hopefully that clears it up. And I always forget to ask this at the beginning, but if you made it to here and you're not a subscriber, come on, I provided some value to you. What you can do is click it, do me the favor. I don't make any money on subscribers, but it helps with the algorithm. And you know what? I'm a CPA. I like numbers. I like to see them go up. So I'd love to have your subscription. Turn the notifications on. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. You want to make sure you know when I'm putting out a new video. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. Yeah, we had an ice storm that we're coming out of. We got all kinds of housework going on here, so sorry for the extra noise. Remember, this isn't CNN or Fox News. I don't have a professional studio. I'm here in my office putting these together for you. All right, hey, have a great one.